All right. Good evening and welcome to the Marshfield Planning Board meeting of Monday, June 23rd, 2025. Present tonight are Fred Monaco, Kevin Cantwell, and myself, Katie O'Donnell. Absent are Mike Biviano, Chair, and Nick Papastratis. This meeting is being recorded by MCTV. The time is now 7 p.m. And I will make a motion to open tonight's meeting. Do I have a second?
I'll second it. Fred Monaco.
Okay, roll call vote. Fred?
Fred Monaco, aye.
Kevin?
Kevin Cantwell, aye.
And Katie O'Donnell, aye. All right, so with that, looking at the agenda for tonight's meeting, it has gotten shorter than it was. We had a continued special permit modification public hearing for John Sherman Estates and a continued subdivision public hearing for Marshfield Hills Estates. Because we only have 3 people this evening, both of those are going to be continued without testimony to July 7th. So if there's anybody here who's on for that. But I guess with that, can I open them and continue before 7:05?
Yeah.
Since continuing, okay. So I'll make a motion that we open and continue without hearing or testimony the continued special permit modification public hearing for John Sherman Estates open space.
Motion, Fred Monaco.
Okay, roll call vote. Fred?
Fred Monaco, aye.
Kevin?
Kevin Cantwell, aye.
And Katie O'Donnell, aye. Next, I'll make a motion that we continue the subdivision public hearing for Marshfield Hills Estates. Oh, sorry, I didn't clarify on the first one, to Monday, July 7th at 7:05 p.m. Is there a second?
Second. Fred Monaco.
Roll call vote. Fred?
Fred Monaco, aye.
Kevin?
Kevin Cantwell, aye.
And Katie O'Donnell, aye.
So we have no minutes, Katie.
We have no minutes.
And
7:02.
Board staff report. The select board did not meet tonight, so we do not know what they are deciding to do about MBTA zoning until their next meeting, which I think is 2 weeks from now. I think that's also the last day they have to file an appeal.
Okay. Any other updates? 2 minutes of updates.
I filled out the case study for CZM on the beach nourishment. We're almost done with that one. We're just waiting for a couple more invoices from Woods Hole Group, and
okay. The photos looked good.
that grant gets wrapped up. So, that's it for me. Karen, do you have anything for them?
No, nothing else.
I guess we're all here for.
Anybody have anything to share?
So, Katie, I think you can take a vote to open, and that should get us to 7:05.
Okay, I'll talk slowly. All right, I'll make a motion to open the continued street improvement public hearing for Texas Street. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion. Fred Monaco.
Okay, roll call vote. Fred?
Fred Monaco, aye.
Kevin?
Kevin Cantwell, aye.
And Katie O'Donnell, aye.
So, Katie, we have Pat Brennan and Greg Morris here. Greg, we'll let Greg start. If you need Pat to fill in on anything. The board members also have been provided a draft decision, which Greg has also seen. He had one correction, which we changed finding number 3 after talking with Pat Brennan to make sure that was okay.
Okay. With that too, I think like one more person had joined the meeting, and I just wanted to mention again that both John Sherman Estates and Marshfield Hills Estates were continued to in case anybody was here for those. We won't be hearing any testimony on them.
Well, I
Oh.
think that took care of one of them.
All right. Okay, with that, I'll turn it over to you, Greg. Thanks.
Thank you. For the record, Gregory Morse, registered engineer, Morse Engineering. I'm going to do a share screen and put a copy of the plan up for you to take a look at. Just bear with me here 1 second.
Different screen. We'll have this one here.
You can see a copy of the plan.
He's got a different angle.
Excellent. Representing the applicant, Zorge Holdings LLC, this is a street improvement project that was continued from the last meeting. We're proposing to improve a portion of Texas Street. Texas Street is unconstructed between Wellington Avenue, which is off on the left side of the screen, and Washington Avenue on the right side of the screen. This portion here would be constructed off of Washington Ave. It's approximately 173 feet of new roadway, which would provide access to one single-family house lot. There's no further development potential off of this section of Texas Street. The road for access was proposed as 20 feet wide. That's made up of an 18-foot travel lane and then 12-inch Cape Cod berms on each side. There's a water service coming off of Washington Avenue. There's a subsurface electric from the house to an existing utility pole that's right about where my cursor is right now. The drainage system here is a catch basin, a particle separator, and subsurface leaching chambers located under the street. We also had a peer review done by the planning board's consultant, Pat Brennan. In response to his peer review, we had added a crushed stone infiltration trench along the side, on the north side of the street. And as a result of abutter comments, as we went through other permitting boards, we added a crushed stone trench as well as a culvert under our single-family home driveway on the south side of the street. This project has already been to and has been approved by the Board of Health, the Conservation Commission, and the Zoning Board of Appeals, as a portion of the site is in the Inland Wetlands District. At the conclusion of last meeting, we spoke about the Conservation Commission going out to confirm the wetland boundary and confirm that there were no further wetland areas within the right-of-way of the street. That site visit was done last week. They've confirmed the wetland boundaries, confirmed that there is no wetland within Texas Street's right-of-way where the street improvement is, and they have issued their permit, their order of conditions. As the planner, Mr. Guimond, said, he shared a copy of suggested conditions if the project is approved, and we would agree with all of those conditions that were suggested, with the exception of the comments that we had made to him. I'll turn it back over to you.
Okay, thank you. Can I just ask, what is like the maintenance on these look like?
Sure. It's relatively low maintenance on a type of system like this. But this street, it is proposed to remain as a private street. The catch basin would be pumped out and cleaned out periodically whenever the sediment exceeds a minimum of 25% of the sump area. And then the particle separator that's right next to it, same thing, gets pumped out when the sediment exceeds the capacity of the particle separator. There really is no maintenance on the subsurface chamber system as long as the catch basin and the particle separator are maintained. Those would be the responsibility of the property owner.
Thank you. Greg Guimond, is there anything that you wanted to add to this?
When he referenced, it wasn't a condition, it was a finding, it was the finding number 3. that he had language change, which Pat reviewed and okayed. We would just ask Pat if he wanted to finish up anything, comments engineering wise, and then we could see if any comments with the public.
No, I didn't have anything further. I reviewed and I commented at the last hearing that I was fine with the drainage, and this is a better plan than the original plan that first came in. So I was happy to see the changes that Greg made based on my original comments. So that's about it.
Okay. Do any of the other board members have any questions or comments?
I do not.
I do not.
All right, with that, I'll go to the public. Is there anyone speak? Jay Creed?
Yeah, I have two concerns. The first concern is the displacement of the water, which I believe I submitted a photograph from April of 2024, indicating the extent and the depth of the water that collects in the middle of the road. I'm satisfied if Mr. Brennan has reviewed the plan and believes that the engineered roadway, together with the other improvements that Mr. Morse has added, the trenches on either side of the road, are not going to make the problem any worse than it already is. And what I mean by that is if you're raising that road, you're displacing water potentially on me, and I don't need any more of it. The second concern is maintenance. I think that I haven't seen your draft decision, but I would hope that the decision has a requirement of a deed restriction indicating that the homeowner is responsible not only for the underground maintenance of the underground drainage facilities, but also for the stone trenches that are on either side of the road. In essence, this roadway is a driveway. It's an extended driveway. It's going to be used by one home. And I think that the homeowner whoever buys the house should be aware by way of a deed restriction that they're responsible for those maintenance issues if and when they arise. At the conservation hearing, Mr. Morse's associate indicated that the stone trenches would need to be maintained yearly. And I think that, again, that needs to be part of a notice to the homeowner by way of a deed restriction so that they're aware of their responsibilities once they purchase this house. That's all I have.
Katie? Katie,
Yes.
you muted. Question for Jay. Jay, are you willing to provide said condition?
I think that you folks did this on Brewster Road, and I think that language similar to that probably makes sense, but I can provide something tomorrow if you don't have it.
We will look up Brewster Road, but that's the board's choice if they would like to do that.
The applicant has no objections to a condition like that.
Okay.
Thank you, Greg.
No problem.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where when I was like asking about the maintenance on this, it is where normally a private road would have like a homeowners association or something that would identify that and would be connected. I do think that makes sense. Mr. Creed, did you have anything else to?
I don't. Those were my comments.
Okay. Do we have any other public comments, questions? Okay.
Francis, you're muted. If you want to speak, you need to unmute. I guess we're okay. Nope.
Nope.
Hello?
Mr. Cohen, did you want to speak?
Yes, I just agree with my neighbor, Jake Reed. I'm on the other side of him. I have the same concerns as well.
All right. So I think we'll formalize that maintenance portion as part of the decision.
We'll add it as a condition. Yep.
And make it a condition. Any other questions or concerns from the board? The public?
No.
All right. Okay, so with that, I will make a motion to close the public hearing for the continued street improvement for Texas Street. Is there a second?
Second, Fred Monaco.
Roll call vote, Fred,
Fred Monaco, aye.
Kevin,
Kevin Campbell, aye.
and Katie O'Donnell, aye. And so now that the hearing is closed, I'll also make a motion to approve the street improvement for
Or Texas Street.
Street with the added
Condition about the maintenance being put in.
right,
What would be the proper way of saying that, Jay, in the deed?
A deed restriction, yes.
Deed restriction, okay.
okay, so moved. Is there a second?
Second, Fred Monaco.
Okay, roll call vote, Fred,
Fred Monaco, aye.
Kevin,
Kevin Campbell, aye.
and Katie O'Donnell, aye.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you,
you.
folks.
Yep, have a good
Thank
night.
you.
Good night.
And with that, you can ask for a motion to close the meeting.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to close tonight's meeting, right? Because I closed the hearing already.
Yep.
So, have a second?
Second, Fred Monaco.
Fred,
Fred Monaco, aye.
Kevin,
Kevin Campbell, aye.
and Katie O'Donnell, aye. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.
Everybody.
Good night.
Hmm.